Welcome to the Florida Prairie. My name is Peter Updike, and this is the Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman YouTube channel. And today I'm exploring what I would call a medium-sized Florida prairie. Now, if you're like me, prairies conjure up thoughts in your minds of coyotes and road runners and prairie dogs, but we're in Florida, so Florida prairies don't resemble that definition. They in fact resemble, well, areas that are dominated by grassy pond habitat and large open space surrounded by timber that typically goes dry and gets wet again, goes dry and gets wet again. This particular prairie is located in the Ocala National Forest, and I'm scouting today for hunting season. When hunting season comes up in the fall, I want a place that I can go close to home. So the plan today, I'm parked up on the road here. The plan today is to walk around this thing and find access into the tall timber. I'm seeing a few deer tracks. Seen some bear tracks, and I saw some turkeys on the way up here. But what I'd really like to do is find access in that tall timber adjacent to the prairie. I'm not of the opinion that the prairie is typically a good place to set up to hunt over. I don't think they use it during the day. May do, but I think your chances are probably a little better inside the cool of the timber, especially in early season. But come go with me. We're gonna walk this thing out and see what we see. When I find something worth showing you, I'll show it to you. So this is a very pleasant spot here in the shade. Nice cool breeze. Well, it's not a cool breeze, but it's not hot either. Very pleasant moment, and I just wanted to stop and enjoy it for a minute. Now, this place holds kind of a special place in my heart, because if you've got a copy of my book, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman, you'll see there on the cover of that book are a couple of bucks in velvet. And I came up here one day after a series of hurricanes, and all of this was flooded, and I wanted to canoe through this grass and all through this area, and I got up in that area over there, and that's where I ran into the bucks, and I was able to snap a picture of those deer. And and it ended up on the cover of my book. So yeah, me and this place have a little history, and it's just a beautiful place to come, just to be quiet and still and experience. I noticed that all of this is drying up a little bit in spite of the fact that we've had rain. Now, where I put in at used to have vehicle access. All that vehicle access is gone. There's if you get caught driving in here, you're going to get a pretty hefty ticket. I see that there's still some trails here where some people have been driving through this mud, but for all intents and purposes, this place has improved since the last time I was here. This place has gotten, let's say, nicer. The access is limited. No more roads coming down in here. And yes, up at the very end, beyond that tree line, there is a power line and a road that goes, but it's way that way. So I'm going to continue on. I just wanted to stop and share this spot with you. And this dry area, I think I'll be able to walk all the way around this thing. I used to walk over through there, and that's where we're headed. I'm going to walk up through here and look for access into that timber, maybe find trails where the deer are coming down through the timber to come into the prairie in the evening. So yeah, that's what we're looking for. All right, we'll be back with you. Seeing a lot of deer sign. There's a lot of deer tracks here, boy. Look at that. Holy smokes, coming through here. It's a little trail that they're using right here, walking this edge. A lot of deer tracks. Look at that. And you can kind of see it right there where they're kind of coming down through here. Let's just follow this and see where it enters the timber. If we can actually see it, might give us a little. Now we're on the, I suppose we're on the northeast side, so yeah, keeping that in mind. Early morning sun comes up over here, so if you want to be in the shade early in the morning, well, over on this side would where you'd want to be. And of course, shade is just as important deer hunting in Florida during the archery season as anything. And if you can find a good shady spot to sit, it even looks like there's some woods opening up over here. So let's it kind of looks like it might go this way here. Look at that. Unbelievably beautiful. Just as far as I'm concerned, this is, who could ask for anything more when it comes to having a place to come go hunting. Yeah. So we're picking up our trail here. It looks like it's coming right through here. "100% deer trail right here. Coming out. There's no telling how old it is, but it doesn't matter. Looks like maybe they walk this edge right here, up through here. And if this ground was soft, you'd see tracks. So inside this timber, man, looks like an ideal setup. I've got a wind coming out of the southwest this morning. Yeah, anywhere in here. And if you wanted to watch the prairie, if you had your binoculars and wanted to watch the prairie, I suppose it would be doable. You could get in a tree in here and face your stand out that way and be entertained by the beauty of this place. And yeah, I know. I talk about sign over scenery. I prefer to hunt over sign over scenery, but it doesn't say you can't have both, right? You can have both. All right, we're going to ease on up here and see what else this place has in store for us. This is beautiful. And the last time I was here has been a few years ago. There was road trails that came around this whole thing. People were driving in here, and yeah, they really cracked down on the recreational use of our wetlands, and especially on government land. So if you get caught in this area driving, you're going to get a hefty fine. So yeah, I'm glad that has come to pass. I really don't like the idea of people driving through here. All right, let's go. Let's move a little forward and see what else we can find. So I'm going to call this my first transition area, where you got tall, thick, dense timber to the north, and to the south is prairie. And we've got this strip of trees through here that are open and welcoming as far as archery hunter would be concerned. And it seems to carry on that same, and I would think that you'd want to set up closer to the timber. But what I visualize happening is if deer were to come out here late in the evening, that they would mill to the edge, and once they got to the edge, they would hold up before moving out into open area, maybe even wait till dark. But they might, you know, mill around in here before total darkness. Wiregrass. We're looking for a rub. I feel like I'm getting close. Looking for a rub. If that's an old one, it's 10 years old. Again, this would be your transition, an open transition area from the tall, dark, thick timber to the prairie. They'd say, well, you know what? Where's the bedding area? Well, I would think it's back that way somewhere. I don't know. If I was a deer, I'd be bedded right in this, but I've got a wind that's coming now. It's coming straight out of the south and blowing into the timber here, so that would not be a good setup, because I'm anticipating my deer to come through the timber to mill in through here. I don't see much of a food source here. We're going to continue looking. Yeah, I would like to see some food source. I'm sure there's some browse in here. A good strategy might be to simply use the prairie and then find access into the timber and hunt in the timber. The more I think about it, the more I like that idea. This is very, very welcoming, and yeah, I like this. Walk back in here a little ways, and we're getting out of, but I can see that there's even a little trail right here. And it goes back to tall timber, which is, according to the aerial map, is a pretty dense, deep, dark stand of timber. And back this way is the prairie. All right, we're going to ease on back to the prairie and follow on. So I'm about a quarter of the way around, and I've come to a spot where I'm seeing big oak trees. Let's go back and investigate this area right here. Looks like there might be a little access right here. It looks like the vines are really, really high. And of course, that's a good food source. The deer like to feed on whatever vines provide, whether it be berries or new growth. I don't think they're too crazy about the stems. Let's see what we got back in here. See if there's some big oak trees in here. Oh man, got briars. And I'm not talking about ice cream here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see what we got in here. Spider web. Had a spider on my face. Yep. This has got it all. It's got browse. It's got oak trees. It's got cover. It's got access to the prairie. I've got access. Any number of these trees would be ideal for a setup. Ease on around here. Look at this in here. There's a trail right here. Meanders through, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And of course you can see the prairie versus the timber just by looking at the skyline, right? And palmettos are always a obstacle. That you have to overcome. Head high palmettos. Yeah, this is where I end my in my intrusion in this portion of the woods, I'm not willing to go through all of that there. I'm looking for natural access. Wow. All right, let's head back out to the prairie and keep moving forward. So we're inside the tree line. As you can see, the grass has grown into and keeps moving into the tree line, and the prairie at this point is probably, I don't know, 80 yards that way. So we're kind of out of the prairie habitat, and again, this is what I'd call a transition area or a buffer between the tall timber over here and the prairie over there. And of course, this makes for fine exploring and walking. The reason it's this way is because it floods, and when it floods every 10 years, it kind of kills off all the understory, and it'll kill off a lot of these longleaf pines, and yeah, continue to preserve the habitat that you see here now. And yeah, nobody comes in here and maintains this. It's all maintained by Mother Nature. So yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'm just easing through, enjoying this walk. I walked in that way a little bit and found that I could go no further. So I'm just going to continue my trek along and along. That's an old rub. That's about the third one I've seen. I've seen about three rubs. Not very impressive. Keep looking. I would like to see rubs that look like they were made by a 3 or 4 year old buck. But you know, that's just a small piece of the puzzle. You know, this is habitat that is forbidding. It's this block here, according to the aerial view, is a big, dense, dark area, and it's great to have that, because yeah, nobody's going in there except hound dogs during the gun season. So yeah, they're pushing big bucks out of there, I'm sure. I won't hunt this during the gun season, but I'm going to do it during the archery season. So we're looking forward to that. Gonna see what we see. Look, it's opening up here a little bit. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that nice? This is almost like a city park. Look at that. And the truck, according to the GPS, is that way 1.3 miles. 1 3/10 miles that way. So I've walked all the way around this thing. So I don't know how far I've walked. It's okay. Man, look at this. This is just beautiful. But it's not, it's beautiful, but it's not a good setup for deer hunting. We're going to keep looking. It's a little too open for my taste. All right, let's keep looking. Be a good turkey setup. So this prairie's back this way. More access this way. I'm beginning to recognize this spot, because right back in there somewhere, I got a rangefinder. I don't know what happened to my rangefinder. I lost it about, I don't know, it's probably about 15 years ago. I was coming up in here hunting, and yeah, this is a little access here, a little wet area right here that continues your access into the dark timber. And I think that's really where you want to be. You're going to put a lot of effort to getting into these spots, but hey, it's great. I love it. This just keeps going and going and going. Little trail right here, looks like. You can just keep going and going and going right here. This is what I'm talking about, access. All around this thick cover that denies you access, and then you find just a little opening, and it just takes you into the most beautiful spot that you've ever seen. It's kind of like, oh, eureka! But eventually it's going to stop. This looks like something might be laying in here. Might have bumped it out of here this morning. Yeah, man. You can kind of zigzag your way through. Quiet, stealthy. Don't make a bunch of noise. Keep on going. Look at this. Spider webs. Get away from me, spider. Up in through here. Wow. Big oak trees back there, longleaf pines, vines, grasses, gum tree. The thing I realized about gum trees is if a limb falls in the gum tree, if the limb falls off of a gum tree and the leaves die, they begin to change color. Boy, deer love that stuff, man. If you wanted to set up your tree stand somewhere here, you could take your saw, take some of these gum, and just break them off. And when those things die, I think they ferment. There's something real sweet in there that ferments. I've watched deer feed on a gum tree that had fallen in a storm, and the leaves were all dying on it, and man, they just ate on those things like no tomorrow. Look at this thing, it just keeps on. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about using the prairie, using the sawgrass pond, however you want to define it, to access areas that have no roads going to them. This has got no access, no roads. You can just kind of zigzag your way through, find a spot, set up. Yeah. I'm just about gotten to the point where I can't see the prairie no more. Could you imagine hunting back here? You'd be back here hunting. You hunt till about 10 minutes before dark, pitch black dark, and you decide, well, I'm just going ahead and get down, and you see a buck coming your way, so you stop. And you shoot that deer. He runs up in there probably 150 yards, keels over and dies, and it's getting dark. Yeah, what an adventure that would be, right? You're all that way from the truck. You've got your deer down in the palmettos. Hopefully you got a deer buggy out there on the sawgrass pond or on the prairie. And yeah, you're by yourself. Something to consider. It's always, always, always something to consider when hunting till dark. By yourself in what I'm calling the backcountry. Yep. All right, we're going to head our way back to the prairie and continue making our way around. I did not find my rangefinder. So I reckon that's going to wrap it up for another exciting YouTube video, Wild Treasures of an Outdoorsman. I'm Peter Updike, and I'm going to give you one last look at the prairie before I start headed back. I made that cross there. Oh Lord, I thought the earth was going to swallow me up. Look at that. How awesome is that? I hope you get out here. I hope you're able to get out here and enjoy what we have here in Florida, in our Florida public land. Deer numbers here are low, but it's so exciting to have a place where you can come go hunting. Yeah, you might not see any deer for a couple of hunts, but then again, you might come out here and kill a buck of a lifetime. Like I said, that block of woods over there is the biggest, deepest, most most unwelcoming, let's say, It's not the word I was looking for. Unwelcoming habitat, but you know there's a buck that lives in there. Yeah, they run the dogs in there, but yeah, he's gonna elude those dogs most of the time. So it's hot, it's warm. I've enjoyed myself, so I don't care. All right, love you guys. Talk to you soon. See you. Bye.